In 2023, for the first time in 10 years, Austin saw a net population decline. Big names like Google and Facebook are pulling out, leaving behind 6.1 million square feet of office space. Tesla is de-annexing 2,100 acres from the city of Austin. And most recently, Oracle announced they're pulling out of Austin and moving their corporate headquarters to Nashville. And they just got here 4 years ago. And if you think that's bad, check this out. The entire neighborhood of Lost Creek, almost 400 families, is voting to de-annex from Austin. What in the world is going on in Austin? Well, stick around for this video and we'll examine some of the root causes and also look ahead and see how this might impact the housing market in the future. For the last decade, Austin was one of the fastest growing cities in the entire country. It seemed like every year, multiple major publications listed Austin as the best place to live. The local economy was strong, job growth was high, and the cost of living was low compared to other parts of the country. This created a steady flow of incoming new residents. But then the pandemic happened, and boom, that growth rose exponentially. Part of the reason for this is the pandemic created work-from-home options that didn't exist before. Someone living in San Jose, California, making 3 to 4 times the median income in Austin, could keep that same job and move to Austin and outspend everybody that's currently here. Also during the pandemic, big companies like Tesla and Oracle moved their corporate headquarters to Austin. Now there were other factors like ultra-low interest rates and a ton of stimulus money being dumped in the economy. And all of this worked together to create a perfect storm. Somewhere in early 2021, it was almost as if everybody woke up and decided they were going to move to Austin. It really was like somebody flipped a switch. Every available house that was listed for sale sold within a matter of days, oftentimes for a lot more than the list price. Builders were completely sold out and started auctioning off homes that were only scheduled to be built. And it seemed like there was no end to the number of people moving here who were willing to pay whatever it took to buy any house in Austin. Now all of this lasted for about a year, and by the time it was over, perceived home values had skyrocketed. Now I call it perceived value because realistically, if there was a neighborhood of 400 homes that had values around $400,000, and 10 of those homes sold for $800,000. Does that really mean those other homes doubled in value in less than a year? Well, the county appraisal district thought it did. And when people started getting those appraisal notices saying that their home values had increased 50, 60, 75% in a year, they accepted that as fact that that was the new value. This chart shows the median price growth in the entire Austin metro up through the peak in 2022. From 2020 to 2022, the median price increased 46%. But if you look at that increase over a 3-year period between 2020 and 2023, it was only 30%. For comparison, it had previously taken 5 years for the median price to increase 30%. In that 2-year period between 2020 and 2022, when values increased 46%, some areas even more than that, when that was going on, everybody thought it was going to last forever. But of course, everything must come to an end. When the Federal Reserve stepped in and started raising interest rates in early 2022, that wild ride came to a screeching halt. As soon as those rates started to go up, buyers became very nervous and pulled back. Some of them even got priced out of the market. We started to see listings stay unsold for longer periods of time, and there were a lot of price reductions. And we started seeing listings that were pulled completely off the market because the seller couldn't get what they thought the house was worth. Now, the reason I'm talking about home values so much, it is a big reason why Austin is now seeing this population decline. Yes, the summers are hot. And yes, the politics are conservative. And yes, a lot of companies did change their work from home policies. But when median prices go up faster than the median incomes, something has to give. And right now, it looks like people are unwilling to continue to pay those higher prices in Austin and are looking other places. But before we press the panic button, let's take a look at the overall metro. Surrounding counties, especially Williamson to the north and Hayes to the south, continue to boom. Now, some of the reasons for this is that homes are less expensive, and there are a lot more new construction, and builders have been offering promotional interest rates. And if you live in a new community in one of the suburbs, you're not going to have to deal with some of the stuff you will in the city of Austin. And what types of things, you might ask? Well, let's take a look at what's going on in Lost Creek. It's a neighborhood in West Austin of about 400 homes, and they are voting to de-annex from the city. Their primary concern is property crime. They've had to hire their own private security guards because they've lost confidence in the Austin Police Department's ability to protect them. Now, there are a lot of underlying politics that are probably to blame for this. Travis County has a very progressive DA who mimics a lot of the soft on crime policies that have become popular on the West Coast. Now, let me be clear. I am not trying to start any kind of political debate. All I'm trying to do is point out that if a large group of affluent homebuyers think they will be better served by the county sheriff's department patrolling their streets than they will by the Austin Police Department, I think you will agree that something is going on. Political ideologies might also be a reason for why these big tech firms are pulling out of Austin. I think we all know that California is progressive and Texas is very conservative. And issues like abortion don't seem to have a lot of common ground. It's either one extreme or the other. When the state of Texas started passing a lot of pro-life legislation this last year, I think a lot of the people that moved here from California didn't fully realize how different these political ideologies really are. Of course, the question everybody wants to know is how is all of this going to impact the housing market moving forward? Well, first of all, the entire metro continues to stabilize after this pandemic housing boom. It really doesn't matter what area of the metro you might be talking about. Homeowners probably think their houses are worth more than they will actually sell for, and buyers continue to be very cautious. The higher interest rates make buying a home more expensive. And since homes aren't selling immediately like they used to, there's a lot more houses that are still available, which means buyers have more options. Now, one trend that should not be overlooked is the population boom in the surrounding counties, while the population of Austin begins to shrink. I think it's a statement of perceived value. If you compare what the same amount of money can buy inside the Austin city limits versus a little bit further out, more and more people seem to be choosing to go further out. But will that continue? Well, the two areas that have the most available inventory right now are downtown condos and those $1 million plus brand new contemporary homes that were built just outside the urban core. There will either need to be more people who are willing and able to buy those types of homes, and that buyer pool seems to be shrinking, or the prices will need to adjust to what the buyers are willing to pay for those types of properties. Now, some people say the housing market is pretty bad right now, but if you check out this video, I'm going to highlight some of the opportunities you can find out there. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. That way you'll get notification every time I post a new video.